Welcome, guys, to another video. So, today I wanted to jump into the topic of surrender and surrendering on the twin flame path. So, this can be a really difficult thing for a lot of people to do because the idea of surrendering means that we're giving up, or it means that we're, you know, not going to try anymore, or we're not going to fight anymore. And I guess in a way that's exactly what it is, but what we're actually doing is surrendering to the process of the spiritual awakening and surrendering to the process of the twin flame path, because essentially you can't get off it. If you have been activated by your twin flame in this lifetime, and if you're watching this channel, it's highly likely that you have, and if you've found me, it's highly likely that you have. Then there's no getting around it. There's no getting off it. As much as we want to at times, and as hard as it is at times, there is no getting around it. There's no spiritually bypassing it. There's no, you know, getting off the path. Basically, the only way to get off it, essentially, if that's what you wanted to do, is to face it head on and go straight through it. That quote, or that, the book as well, the obstacle is the way. We have to face these things head on, and we need to go through the path, instead of trying to bypass it, trying to do all these things to, get off the path, or to try and distract ourselves from the path, or tell ourselves that this is not happening, or whatever you're trying to do. You might be trying to, find a soulmate, or you might be trying to date other people to try and distract yourself to get off the path. And those things are all fine and good, but it's essentially going to keep you looping. If you are on this path, it's going to keep you looping. You're going to be distracted for a little while, but you're never going to be able to move through it. So the way, what I wanted to talk about in this video was the way to get through the path is through surrendering to the path. So what I mean by that is surrendering to the fact that this is happening and you can't change it. Surrendering to the fact that this is your spiritual awakening, and this is led by the soul. This was meant to happen to you in this lifetime, and surrendering to the fact that the sooner you come to terms with that, and the sooner you let yourself feel into that, the sooner you're going to start to feel better. The sooner you're going to stop looping. The sooner you're going to stop feeling so shitty about the twin flame. The sooner all that yearning and missing them and pain is going to dissipate. And essentially that's what I'm trying to help everyone do, is to get out of the pain of the twin flame path, because it is like nothing else you have ever experienced in your life. So the surrender part on the journey is highly, highly critical. When you get to a point, you eventually will get to a point where you're so exhausted with the path that all that's left to do is surrender to yourself, and surrender to the fact that this is happening whether you like it or not. So it's surrendering the ego. So the ego has, for a lot of us, has such a tight grip on us in the 3D reality. We've identified with it for so long, all of our lives, that we don't know any different. So give yourself grace for that as well, and give yourself time. This isn't going to happen in, a month or whatever. Like, it's going to take time for these things to dissipate out of our 3D reality. So the way through it is to face these things head on, face what's coming up for you, and really start to look at that. This is the way through the path. These will come in spirals and they'll come in waves. You'll have times where you might be facing all this stuff for like a week straight or 2 weeks straight, and then you might have, the soul might say, okay, you need a break now. So you might feel okay. And then that means, you've moved to the next thing, and it's pushing you forward and forward and forward. So every time that you dissipate out some of that lower frequency energy, every time that you dissipate that out, you'll start to feel better, and then you'll have another spiral come around, and you'll dissipate that out, and you'll transmute that energy out of your system, and then you'll feel better, and you'll come into a higher octave, and then that spiral goes around and around until you have really transmuted everything in your energetic field that is there to transmute. And for everyone is different, and everyone has different woundings and traumas and patterns that they need to transmute. So everyone's going to have a different time frame as to how this is going to show up for them. But you can make this journey harder for yourself, or you can make it easier. The way to make it easier in a way is to face these things head on. And if you don't want to be in pain anymore, this is the way through. So facing those things head on, when they come up for you, they're coming up for you to clear it. They're not coming up for you so that you can sit there and feel shitty about yourself. They're coming up for you so that you can move through it and transmute that energy through your body, so that you don't have to feel it anymore, so that you don't have to feel this shitty energy anymore, and this shitty vibration, and all these woundings that you've carried around with you for your whole life. They're coming up for you to let go of them. This is what the Kundalini does. This is what the awakening does. This is what we're here to do as twin flames, is to break those templates of lower vibrational 3D reality and how most people live in the world. We're here to break those templates and raise the vibration of the earth. So the way through this is, when I say surrender, to surrender to your process. Surrender. Bring those things back to you. Love every part of you. Bring it back. See it for what it is. Look at the inner child. The inner child stuff will come up. Look at all these things. And that is truly what self-love and being self-loving is in these moments. Is, okay, I have this abandonment wound, or I have this, validation and codependency pattern. I have, self-worth wounds, and, all of these things that we probably didn't even know that we were running for a long time, but we are running them, and they are essentially creating what we're seeing on the outside. If you have an abandonment wound, you'll see abandonment coming up in your reality. And that's, as for all of the wounds as well, it's basically running your life from the subconscious level. But what the Kundalini does is pushes all of that subconscious programming up to the surface, so that you can look at it, see it for what it really is, and transmute it and let it go. So that's what I wanted to touch on in this video. And I hope that kind of helps a little bit, to help you see what surrendering really is. And it's not that you're giving up, and it's not that you're giving up on your twin flame, and it's not that you're, any of that. It's just that you are surrendering to the path. You're surrendering your ego, and you're surrendering to the fact that this is happening. Lay down the tools, lay down, everything that you've tried to fight this with, and just face it head on. We're not digging our heels in the ground anymore if we want to get out of this pain. So it's yeah, facing these things head on and surrendering to the fact that we're on the path. We can't get off it. We need to go through it. We need to face the fire, come out the other side. Trust me, on the other side, it is so much better and so much more than you could even imagine it to be. And your life will come in leaps and bounds. You will be so overwhelmed with what's on the other side that will wish that you will wish that you did this sooner and that you transmuted all this energy sooner. So I hope that helps, guys. Thanks for watching.